Hey guys, and welcome. Today I want to update you a little on the direction of the channel, update you on some personal news, which hopefully influence the channel going forward. Some of you might have already seen it, some maybe haven't. So here's the news. In the latest Kunos trailers, there was like a split second where there was a certain guy visible sitting in a car looking weirdly at a dashboard in a real car. That was me. And that kind of gave it away that thankfully Kunos has offered me to work with them on developing Assetto Corsa EVO. This kind of comes as an aftermath of Aris leaving the company after what must have been 2 decades that he really contributed his life and his time to making simulations that we enjoy today. And after so much time, you can kind of just understand that some people need new colors, shift to something else, and move to something else. That does not mean that I'm replacing Aris, like far from that, because Aris has such a wide range of skills, experience, knowledge that I'm simply unable to replace. That's not what I am going to do. Kunos has invited me over for a few track days, and the whole target of that was to get a better understanding of how real-life cars behave, and of course how we can correlate that behavior with the behavior of the cars in the sim. So my main job there essentially is to do test driving. Test driving in the sense that we were checking if the cars work in general, but also, and more importantly, how they behave and work around the crucial area in sim racing, which is the limit of the cars. And my experience from doing esports for years, for decades in fact, is hopefully that I'm able to kind of go into these cars, push them very quickly to that limit, really find where the car is at capacity and figure out whether or not this behavior matches what we experienced in real life and what we think the car should behave. And then when we do certain changes, I am hopefully able to, and at least that's the perception I have so far, that we can very quickly see if these changes are affecting the game or a particular car in general into the direction that we want them to behave. So this is what I'm doing. Of course, maybe in the future we can go into more detail there, but please understand any questions around Assetto Corsa EVO I am not able to answer. I'm not going to be Kuno's new communication channel, and I don't aspire to be. All the information you will get for Assetto Corsa EVO will be through Kunos directly, not through me, so there's no point asking any questions around that. A, perhaps I don't know. B, I'm not at liberty to speak. C, please have some respect for the developers and their work. And of course, I'm not going to share anything that isn't already out there, except for the news that I'm working with them, trying to make the game better. Of course, for some of you, this will bring up the question whether or not all the videos I do on other games going forward are going to be biased. And fair enough. But so A, I want to take or use this video to make sure, well, I'm trying not to be biased. B, there isn't really a point of being biased, because as soon as you start getting biased towards your own product, there's a chance you're kind of start overlooking things. And I, just for myself at least, like to think of a person that is really open in general, that is trying to be frank, down to the point, realistic, and I'm trying to assess things as they are. I personally, I wouldn't really benefit if I just say, well, Assetto Corsa EVO, that is the game we're going to play in the future. It's better than iRacing, it's better than Automobilista, it's better than the Mo Ultimate. This would be A, not credible, because of course every single viewer of you guys, you make your own assessment by the end of the day anyway. You come to your own conclusions and judgment, and when they start kind of growing apart, then of course I'll lose credibility and you'll potentially stop watching. So I have very little interest in that happening, and also in the future I'll make sure, just for the credibility of the channel, that all my assessments of other games, also my assessment of EVO, is going to be as realistic, down to the point, as frank, and in line with how it actually is. B, I want to also do that because of the way I see this and the role that I have. And I don't just want to do the correlation of real life to sim thing or to Evo. I also want to dabble into the other games and really find out about the things they do really good and the things they do not so good. Because if there's anything that iRacing does really well, there's no reason for us not to look into this and try to copy it at the end of the day. And the same is true also for any other game. If there's something they solved in a nice way, this is something I want to bring up and where I want to say, hey, this is good. This is what we should achieve as well. And just as well, if there's something not so well working in another game, no matter the area, I'm here to pick it up and say, hey, we should probably not do this the same way because people do not like it. So yeah, that's it about what I really wanted to share today, I think. Hopefully you'll stay with me for years to come. And also I can already share that there's going to be, I'll try 1 or 2 videos this week. One, I got permission to do a preview of Automobilista 2, which is coming out with a version 1.6 update soon. And there are quite a few things that we need to look into. They changed everything from physics, audio, graphics, menu, content. Quite a big overhaul, to say the least. So we want to look into that in a video that I'm already looking into right now. It's hopefully out in the matter of days. But also the latest iRacing development update reads super interesting. And so I'll have a separate video on that, trying to figure out what their changes might result in before we get the update and get to actually feel it. Because I think they are lately really doing really interesting stuff over at iRacing. And also you saw myself dabbling into it a bit, and I also went through the frustrations, but you also saw me going back to it not just once, because there are certain things where I believe iRacing is doing a fairly good job. So I want to look into this further, and then we'll see the improvements that iRacing I think still need to do, and how their potential or how their announced update might be addressing some of those issues that they still have. So I look forward to sharing all that with you in the future. I hope you stay with the channel. Of course, always go into the comments, except for Assetto Corsa EVO questions that I'm not going to answer. But for everything else that you want to share, everything you want to ask, go down in the comments. Make sure to make yourself heard, and I'll try to pick it up in any future videos. Some Popometer news as well. In light of Automobilista becoming available on Dolphin Motorsport soon, we have updated the Popometer website to be able to work with Automobilista 2 as well. So if you have the recorder, you don't have to do anything, just start Automobilista and the recording will work. If you're not signed up on Popometer yet, make sure you do, give it a try, free to use, unless you want to compare it to somebody else, a friend, a teammate, or simply a pro driver. But until then, there's no cost for you whatsoever. And with that, I'm going to end this for once short video, and then we'll see you very soon for the Automobilista 2 1.6 preview, and also for an outlook of what's to come on the iRacing side of things. And we also saw Le Mans Ultimate has teased with the GT3s that are coming to their game. So there's plenty of content to come. There's so much to come in sim racing in general that we still have to look into. And I'm trying not to be biased, but really open about everything and suck it all up, the good, the bad. And yeah, while doing that, also feed that back into Evo that we are seeing by the middle of January, I think, was announced. So this is hopefully when you all can get a hand on the game, apart from those who already been at the expo. And this shall be it for today. So watch out for the new videos to come. I'll share them shortly. Thank you for watching.